If you are in your 20s, your teens, and your beginning 30s, especially for Africans and Black people, please, disclaimer, if you have had more than 5 pricks in your life, if the amount of pino you have gotten to taste passes the 5 fingers of your one hand, please refrain from verbalizing how many pricks you have had. Learn how to keep some things to yourself. Learn how to take some baggage to your grave. That baggage is only meant to be shared between you and God. No need to open your buccal cavity and be ventilating a whole bunch of unnecessary things from there. Keep it to yourself, and like I said, carry it to your grave. For my ladies out there, I'm pretty sure that most of you guys have met guys that will come and ask you, what's your body count? How many men have you slept with? How many men have you had sex with? And you feel like you have to tell them how many men you have slept with. God, there are some things that you are meant to take to the grave. There are some things that you are meant to take with you to the grave. There are some things that people have lied about in the past, are lying about in the present, and will lie about it in the future. So there is no need for you to feel like you need to go and be doing confessionals. Be opening your buccal cavity and just be pouring out things from that place. There is no need. Keep this thing. I know sometimes you can have a diarrhea. Sometimes you might have that urge. Sometimes somebody might be making you feel so good about yourself, so confident that you feel like you need to open this your public toilet and be just ventilating different things. Do not do that. Sometimes you need to learn how to shut it, hold it in, and travel to your grave site with it in the future, alright? And go and meet God and go there and do confessionals. Because on this earth, confessionals doesn't work. Even Jesus came here and he didn't survive. So how about you? So you need to keep some things to yourself. What I want to talk about here today is, I want to talk about body counts. You know how sometimes 2 people meet, and it's mostly men that do this, and I don't even know why you guys do that. Especially in 2022, you'll be asking a girl, how many men have you had? What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? A year has 12 months, and it's not a guarantee that whatever man you fall on, that man is going to love you. Because we know that when some of you out there, most of you, when you're horny, you're just looking for an oven to dive into, especially during winter, you will tell all kinds of lies to a girl just to enter her ovens. Then when you're done entering the oven now and go whatever you can get for the next 3 months, you will dump her. Some of you just ghost her. You don't even pick up her phone calls again. From telling her every day, baby, you're the love of my life, you're my queen, you're like this, to ghosting. Now, you come and ask a random girl, how many body counts do you have? How many men have you slept with? My dear, that one, you are just going to have heart attack. Because, like I said, a year has 12 months. Even if I'm to have 1 prick every 4 months, how many 4 months are in a year? 12 divided by 4. That's 3. So if I'm in my 20s, 25, let's say 25, most people start dating 17, being sexual, 17, 18. Some people even nowadays 14. So if I'm to have 1 prick every 4 months, I collect 3 pricks, like I said, in a year. By the time I'm 25, how many pricks? Just add it for yourself. By the time I'm 30, how many pricks? And you guys are the cause of it. Because as you guys are using us too for servicing, why do you want to judge us in the long run? Why are you judging us? Because you too, that you're asking the woman that you actually want to marry now how many body counts she has had. Think about the women that you two used. Because those women too, they'll have to go and answer somebody. So for me, there's no need for you to ask that question. If you ask me that question, to me, Valerie, I will tell you that I am in love. Are you in love? Okay, we are both in love. Let's move on. But before we move on, let's go and do tests. Let's test ourselves to make sure we don't have HIV and all those other sexual diseases. As long as you don't have it, you can move on. But if you want to ask me how many body counts, then sir, you can please discharge. Because if I go and check, if they could have tracker of how many holes you have entered inside, I don't know, probably I don't even know. You'll be the scum of the earth. Probably you have more than 300 holes that you have made your entry into. So don't be asking me. I don't know why you be asking me that kind of question. I don't know why. Because even on this side of this world, for instance, winter is a very hot season. Then spring will come again. Summer. It's even during summer that most times even you can manage and say you can manage because the heat is helping the situation. But when spring starts to come, fall, winter, especially when you live alone like this between your four walls, you have nobody to talk to. It's not easy now. So you cannot be asking me how many body counts. And the reason why I'm saying that, for you girls, you need to learn how to close your mouth. No matter how a man makes you feel comfortable, because there are some men that are very, very good at this. Very good psychologists. They're going to tell you everything they want to tell you. Baby, you can open up to me. You're my love, you're my boo. Anything, you can tell me anything. I trust you. I just want us to be on the same page. I just want us to build this trust and everything. Don't you trust me? Maybe I trust you. Okay, nah. They'll take you to go and buy you ice cream. You guys will park in one parking lot. He's going to fumble with your body. He's going to kiss you. You'll be like... You start working on sunshine. The sunshine will make you now. You start opening like your stupid mouth to tell the man, say, I have been with 12 men. I have been with 14 men. I have been with, my dear. If you know that, depending on what age group, if you're in your 50s and you say you have been with more than 5 men, they can understand because you have been to 50. 40s, okay, they can understand 5 men. 20, 19, you gotta open your mouth and say to a potential somebody that you have had more than 5 men, my dear, especially African men and black men in general. Caucasian men, they understand that, okay, especially on this side of the world, you have to go through a few frogs and a few bad experiences to find the right one. But African men and black men are the most judgmental male creatures on earth. They have piped somebody's sister, but they will not expect somebody to have piped his potential partner. How is that possible? The way you were piping people's children, that's the way that somebody to has piped your own. And even if you're with your woman in the house and she has told you that I have only dated 2 men, just multiply that by 2. That is half of whatever she has done. If she tells you 4, that is 8. That's the way it is. Oh, but I come and tell you that I've had 12 men so that you can judge me of all kinds. Like I said, my ladies, do not tell a man. Either you tell him, I ain't about that life. That is my past and we're moving on. If he wants to leave you, he will leave you. Because you didn't ask his own. Even if you ask about him, he will lie. And will start telling you stupid things like, I'm a man at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. It does matter. I don't want to work with a man so that if they give one girl out there pencil and book, she's going to draw your pic and draw even the shape of the hair on your prick. I don't want that. All your pubic area should be able to draw it out for me and I myself even. When she will give it to me, I will know that it's your pubic area. I don't want that too. So it's draw. The way the amount of men I've slept with to bring you shame, that's the way that you too. The amount of, what is the value of you? I'll be carrying the one that everybody has put their hand in the sack. It's not possible now. Nah, she knows what I'm dealing with in my bedroom. It's not possible. So either I will not tell you, or if I'll tell you, I'm going to cut it into half or into 3 and give a number that I feel like is decent, and it's what it is. The only time where I think a lady should tell a man her body count is, let's say, maybe you have been a stripper or a sex worker. That's when you have to tell that man. Because if it's just one night stand as a regular person, because for me, any relationship that has been less than 2 years doesn't count to me as body count. Anybody that I'm going to mention to my partner is somebody that I spent 3 years plus with, 2 years plus with. Anything below 2 years, I will not mention it because, like I said, most men, when they're in the mood, just when they are horny, they will not even remember you. Some men, there are some men that you will even have sex with years after, they will not remember you. Sometimes you will gain weight or you will lose weight, they're not even going to be able to remember you. And men, when they want to enter that place during that period, you will feel like they actually care about you. It's a few years later that you pass them in the street and they will not even know who you are. They will not even look at you. It's just because that moment they use you for sex. Because men, they only recognize you maybe when you guys had a special bond or they genuinely fell in love with you and it didn't work out, or when you had a strong impact on them. But when it was all about booty call, my dear, most of them, they don't recognize you. It's just do it, delete, do it and ghost. So for me, anything 2 years downwards doesn't count to me. So like I said, if you were once a stripper or a sex worker, then you're gonna have to say, you know, I was a stripper and I was a sex worker, because so many people have seen you, all right? So many people have seen you, and sometimes you guys have very beautiful bodies, and if that thing was tanging, that man is going to remember your tanging forever. If that ass was clapping a certain way, or he had a certain tattoo on you, or he had a certain feature that he liked at that strip club or wherever you used to work, that man is going to remember you. So you're gonna have to tell your man, because you don't want your man to be going around and you're going to be like, yo, your girl used to be a stripper at this place and this place. You don't want that. You don't want your man to go and find out by himself. But if you're just a normal girl, no need to say I've had 10 men and all that stuff. And another thing is this: if you know that you have had more than 10 men, 15, 20 men, you need to make sure that whenever you go out with your partner, you put on a straight face. Because there are some men that they have no respect. They know that they have something to do with you. Then they see you with another guy, maybe 2 years after, 3 years after, or years later, they see you with another man. They don't even think that, okay, maybe this person is now married, maybe that's her partner. The way they'll come and hug you, they'll just come on and press you and hold your waistline like this and be pressing you. Valerie, how are you now? The way they'll be touching you, men are not stupid. The thing that a man is going to see, he's going to know that you and that man have had something more than friendship, more than, what are you going to say? It's my brother, it's my uncle, it's my brother in Christ. And he's hugging you like that. He's so comfortable rubbing his hands on your waist. Because when a man has already seen your nakedness, your nudity, there's a certain way that the man will hug you. Even if he's not dating you anymore, even if he sees you with your husband, you are the one that needs to put on that straight face and say, hey, my nigga, don't do that. I ain't about that life. Don't do that. So that when he comes close, he's going to be like, how far now? How are you? And everything. Just go his way. You know? But if he feels like you're just a girl that, you're one of those girls, those white smiles, like, how are you now? And everything. He just come and be pressing you anyhow, my dear. Do not do that. Your man is going to know that there is more. You have been lied to him. Especially if throughout the years, he sees different men hugging you like that, different men hugging you like that. Men, like I said, they're the most judgmental creatures and are the most jealous. And they know how to identify people like them because they were those kind of men before. So you need to be very, very careful. But for you men, why would you come and ask a woman how much body count? You meet me. Like I said, the max you can go do is sexual disease test. If I don't have that, we'll move on. And you don't need to come and know the geography or how many pricks I have been through. Because trust me, just the way that some of you are like rabbits, that's the way some women too are like rabbits. It's not everybody that knows how to use the shower nozzle to masturbate. It's not everybody that knows how to insert things down there. And some people, they don't get satisfied from that. They need to feel a man's touch. They need to feel a man's muscle, tight butt, firm shoulders on them to actually climax. So for them, no matter how you say, do this, they're not going to be satisfied. They need to feel a man. And some people, they don't just know how to do that chastity thing, stay without sex. Because if you have been sexually active for a very long time, it's very hard. When you're in need, you are in need. Just like some of you guys, when you're going through your own thing too, you'll be scratching your prick. It's like you want to cut it, or you're going to be rubbing your legs like this. Your pant all of a sudden, and the front here doesn't seem to be comfortable because the pressure is there. That's how some girls too. The pressure is down there too. Something needs to enter there to drag it out. So, you know, it's this life. You don't ask a lady how many body counts. If you like her, you like her. You toast her, she says yes to you, you move on from there. Over the years, if she's a chick, you're going to find out. If she's a hoe, you're going to find out. No need of asking body counts. Back home, it's very easy to find girls and maybe they have had one boyfriend their whole life or two boyfriends. Maybe they're in their 30s, they've only had two boyfriends. Because back home, girls start dating late and everything. But that's even back then. But in America, yeah, 80% of women, I don't care what anybody has to say, 80%, and possibly even more, have had more than 10 pricks. The prick must not have necessarily entered there, but it must have entered the buccal cavity. Or the hand might have been used to maneuver different pricks, it still counts as body count. So I don't care what anybody has to say. 80% of women here, all those dating apps and all that stuff. Do you know how many? I mean, leave that in. Especially Canada. Canada is very cold. Very, very cold. You stay like this. There comes a period in Canada where blanket cannot help you. Heater cannot help you. Unless you remove the heater and put it in your... Heater cannot help you. You need somebody to play with you. Sometimes you are alone. You'll just be there looking for somebody to talk to. From talking to the person, turn to something else. It's just what it is. So, please, stop asking somebody for body counts. And let's enjoy this life and move on. And my ladies out there, no need for confessionals. Some things are meant to go to the grave with. Let it be what it is. You're not going to be the first one to have lied. You're not going to be the last. When you go to heaven, when God is going to bring out and say, "Hey, my daughter, you don't fuck up. You fucked up on earth." You can say, "Okay, Papa God, I am sorry. But human to human, as long as I'm not sick, we are fine." All right? Peace.